If you're teaching or studying right now, chances are you're drowning in busy work. The hours you spend writing lesson plans, formatting citations, or drafting study guides are eating your actual learning and teaching time alive. Over the last year, you've probably heard the same pitch repeatedly. Just use AI to automate everything. It sounds like an easy fix until you actually try to execute it. Because right now, the market is completely flooded. Between ChatGPT, Canva, Gemini, and dozens of others, trying to keep up with every new software update doesn't save you time. It just creates a second, exhausting job. The problem is that we treat all these apps as interchangeable, but they operate on a strict trade-off between versatility and trust. An app that can write a creative poem is rarely the same app you can trust to cite a peer-reviewed paper. Look at this map of the current landscape. On the left is your normal workflow: researching, reading, outlining, and designing. On the right, attempting to apply AI to all of it turns the process into a chaotic web. You don't need to master 7 different tools. Instead, we can untangle that mess by breaking your workload into 3 specific phases: research, synthesis, and output. If you treat AI as a generic magic box, you will waste hours fixing its mistakes. To actually get your time back, you have to build a specialized stack of tools engineered for the specific bottlenecks slowing you down. Let's start with phase 1, gathering your information and exploring concepts. If you need to brainstorm broad ideas or approach a difficult topic from multiple angles, Google's Gemini is excellent. It's highly conversational and great for kicking around initial thoughts. But look at how it scores on this comparison matrix. While Gemini is incredibly versatile, its citation accuracy drops off sharply. It carries a high risk of hallucination, making up facts or sources, which means you cannot rely on it for formal academic research without manually verifying every single claim. Now, compare that to Perplexity. Notice how the metrics flip. Versatility drops, but citation accuracy spikes, and hallucination risk plummets. This visualization shows why. Perplexity retrieves specific, linked academic sources and web pages rather than generating conversational text from scratch. It gives you an answer completely backed by clickable footnotes. The trade-off is that Perplexity is much more rigid, and if you aren't using its specific academic focus mode, it might still pull information from low-quality blogs instead of scholarly journals. When you are gathering facts, the need for verifiable trust strictly outweighs the need for creative versatility. For research, you need citations, not a chatty assistant. Once you have your research, you hit phase 2, digesting and synthesizing all that dense material. ChatGPT is the dominant, general-purpose text generator most people use here. It's highly capable at looking at a broad topic and generating a rough study plan or a basic lesson outline. However, because ChatGPT pulls from a massive, generalized dataset, its default summaries tend to sound generic. Extracting nuanced synthesis that matches your specific syllabus requires advanced prompting skills. This data flow diagram shows exactly why Google's Notebook LM is a specialized alternative for deep studying. On the left, ChatGPT ingests the entire open internet. On the right, Notebook LM operates entirely inside a closed box, a walled garden. You upload your own specific PDFs, lecture notes, or syllabi into that box. Notebook LM then completely restricts its outputs, like generating study guides or audio discussions, exclusively to the files you provided. The core trade-off is that Notebook LM brings zero general knowledge to the table. If you do not already possess high-quality source documents, the tool is entirely useless. But that restriction is exactly what makes it effective. The safest, most hallucination-proof way to study is to actively strip away the AI's general knowledge and restrict it solely to your curriculum. The final phase is translating your synthesized knowledge into tangible deliverables, presentations, worksheets, or tests. Traditionally, formatting slide layouts, tweaking fonts, and aligning text boxes is a massive hidden time sink that pulls you away from the actual content. This quadrant chart maps out your output options. Look at Gamma down here in the bottom right, optimizing for maximum speed. You can paste in a plain text outline, and Gamma instantly generates a fully structured multi-slide presentation. But look at the y-axis. That immense speed comes at the cost of rigid design constraints. Fine-tuning specific visual details in Gamma is difficult because you give up granular control. If you need that precision, look at the top left. Canva's AI Design Suite offers extreme granular control for things like posters and thumbnails. The trade-off is that Canva is not a true one-click generator. It still requires significant manual layout effort to get things looking exactly right. Then we have Quizzes, sitting in a category of its own. It specializes in transforming documents into gamified classroom assessments. While it's highly effective for teachers managing a classroom, it offers almost no standalone utility for a solo student reviewing for a midterm. Automation in design operates on a strict spectrum. You have to choose whether your specific deliverable requires the instant speed of Gamma or the meticulous control of Canva. So how do we piece this together? It comes down to a simple rule. The right tool plus the right task equals better results. We can stop evaluating individual tools in a vacuum and start assembling specialized stacks based on your daily role. Look at the educator's side of this decision tree. If you are teaching, you are likely time poor, which means your primary goal is high-volume output generation. Your stack is ChatGPT for lesson planning, Gamma for rapid slides, and Quizzes for classroom assessments. This combination saves hours of administration. The only trade-off is the initial time required to verify that the AI-generated content perfectly aligns with your curriculum. But if we pivot to the efficiency-focused student, the primary goal completely changes. You are optimizing for trust and deep knowledge synthesis. Your stack is Perplexity for safe research and Notebook LM for a walled garden study environment. This secures your academic integrity and accelerates your comprehension. It forces active engagement with the facts rather than outsourcing the thinking. Stop chasing the newest hyped tool. Pick the 2 or 3 tools tailored to your role, master them, and ignore the rest of the noise. Because the real value of these tools isn't figuring out how to do more work. It's closing your laptop, walking away, and reclaiming your time.